The Thabo Mbeki Foundation African Peace and Security Dialogue is set to wrap up today in Magaliesburg. The gathering has brought together diplomats, security experts, policymakers and other key figures to focus on peace and security on the African continent. Former President Thabo Mbeki is expected to address the dialogue later on today. Let's go live now to Khayelihle Khumalo, who's been tracking it all for us. So, Kaya, fascinating conversations in the last while, but I'm just wondering in terms of was it just merely about conversations and diagnosing the sources of conflict and factors that disturb the peace on the African continent, or were there other opportunities to see what interventions are possible in the various issues of conflict and crises that plague the continent?
Well, absolutely, Tilasis. It's been a very enthralling experience where really the delegates have had an opportunity to dissect all these conflicts that are still besetting the continent. In fact, a short while ago, there was a very heated session where really they were looking at the root causes of the conflict in the eastern parts of DRC, but also looking at other underlying factors, especially because this issue has been really with the SADC Troika for the longest time. You look at the AU Peace and Security Council, but also Tilasis, you look at the current processes, whether the Doha-led process, but also the US-led process as well. A lot of delegates as well also just pointing fingers to the current regime led by President Felix Tshisekedi, saying, well, to some degree, they might be attributed as one of the causes of the Congo crisis, especially Tilasis. We know that South Africa has been very instrumental in terms of pushing for mediation in the DRC. You go back just decades, that Sun City Peace Accord that was signed here in South Africa by a number of Congolese parties who were involved in that process. So now there are also growing calls, for example, for the second leg of Sun City. But joining us now, Tilasis, is of course Mr. Jean. Of course, Lumumba, Jean-Jacques Lumumba here with us, part of civil society. So once again, sir, let's look at your presence. And you're also very formidable Congolese, because when we talk about the founding fathers of Africa, Patrice Lumumba was your uncle.
Yes, Patrice Lumumba is my grand-uncle, but the grandson of Patrice Lumumba. And it's, for me, a good opportunity to participate in this conference, because during 4 days we show and more intervention concerning peace and stability and security in Africa, concerning also especially a conflict in Democratic Republic of Congo, who during 30 years we know more aggression and war, and today we have another war between M23, who is considered as a rebellion or political and army group against the government of Kinshasa. Donc it's an opportunity to discuss about dialogue, to discuss about ceasefire, to discuss about the peace and stability in Democratic Republic of Congo.
And just once again, sir, what will it take for the DRC to be peaceful, prosperous? I mean, this is a massive country. It's rich in so many minerals, in fact. And when you talk about artificial intelligence, when you talk about the electric vehicles, we know of the very key minerals that are really located in the DRC. But how do we achieve peace? Well, what is the civil society's viewpoint?
The problem of Congo today is the state is failed. The failed of state is a big problem. And another problem is a leadership, an absence of good leadership and bad governance. And today we must reflect, because which is the good solution to help Congo to grow up. You say that we have Sun City, a process of Sun City here, but the big issue of process and Sun City is to achieve the reconciliation and the truth, because the problem, our problem, and to recognize all fault of our politicians, of our Congolese, because the responsibility is our responsibility. It's not the responsibility of President Tshisekedi. It's not only the responsibility of President Tshisekedi or only the responsibility of Joseph Kabila and other leaders. The responsibility of all political leaders in DRC, and the responsibility to us, because we failed to build a good state. And today we must grow up. We must to be more construct and build unity, and to show and to legacy a good Congo for our children, and a good opportunity for the future of this nation. Because Congo is today also a mix of tribes and not a nation. And we must build a state. We must build a nation and build another mind for Congolese.
Before I let you go, sir, I mean, obviously, the humanitarian crisis in the eastern parts of Congo, the displacement of civilians, and also the women, you know, others who are vulnerable, bearing the brunt of that particular conflict. Just briefly, how dire is the situation?
But the situation is not good. Today, M23 and government of Kinshasa has in Doha, and Rwanda and Congo in Washington. Today, the more priority is to cease fire and to obtain peace, and to go to the inclusive dialogue, because inclusive dialogue and through dialogue is a good way to obtain the peace, because peace cannot obtain by the war, because if M23 want to go to Kinshasa, will impose us his strategy and his philosophy. But we want the philosophy and the project of all Congolese, and not the project of a group of Congolese. It's more important to build together, and to build the peace together, and to have another process. We can help Congolese, all Congolese, to construct a good future for our nation.
All right. Thank you so much indeed, sir, for your time. So, Tila Sizwe, really one of the key mantras here, a very central theme here, it's about the pragmatic steps in terms of making sure that all the recommendations and solutions, really, we do see the practical steps and see the difference on the ground, especially because when you talk about all these conflicts, you won't be able to see development, you won't be able to see the implementation of the African continental free trade area, as long as you do have the pockets of conflicts. And it's been a very, very insightful session, really, and quite a number of parties are represented here, especially when you talk about the Great Lakes region, but also the Horn of Africa as well, Tila Sizwe, the very strategic centers in Africa, but really just facing all these conflicts. So with that, back to you in studio.
All right, Kaya, thank you for that. Fascinating reflections there by Jean-Jacques Lumumba, who is a descendant of the great, of course, Patrice Emery Lumumba, the founding father of the DRC, the Congo.